Hua Yuntian's patience was wearing thin. What the hell is taking them so long? He snapped, his voice sharp with irritation. With their cultivation, those demons should have been dealt with by now. Or did they decide to hog all the spoils? A female cultivator muttered. The battlefield was a scene of carnage. The male mammoths teetered on the brink of death, their bodies riddled with pikes, torn by a flying sword, and covered in wounds that would have felled any ordinary beast. 2 had already perished, yet the remaining ones fought on, their resilience unbroken. They let out piercing trumpet calls, unleashing shockwaves that sent dust flying for hundreds of meters. The force rattled the cultivators, some of whom bled from their ears. I'll check it out, the female cultivator declared, shooting off into the distance. Hua Yuntian allowed her to go, eager for answers. Whoosh! A jagged earth spike shot toward her just meters away. Damn it! Hua Yuntian reacted instantly, hurling his flying sword at lightning speed to intercept the attack. But Sneaky's calculations were impeccable. The severed spike's momentum carried its upper half forward, impaling the female cultivator mid-air. She plummeted from 15 meters, hitting the ground with a sickening crunch dead before she even touched the earth. It happened too fast for her to activate her magic treasures, let alone dodge. Another life extinguished in an instant. The group froze, stunned by the sudden loss. Hua Yuntian was the first to recover, his expression darkening with fury. Earth Spike? The shifting mountain sect? No, impossible. Who the hell dares attack us? Show yourself. His voice thundered as his divine sense swept across the battlefield, probing everything within 300 meters. The dying mammoths appeared just as bewildered. Sneaky remained perfectly still underground, concealed by an invisible talisman. His divine sense isn't as strong as Haichuan's, Sneaky analyzed. He may be in the Foundation establishment stage, but he's nowhere near that level. From his observations, Hua Yuntian lacked both Haichuan's magical prowess and keen intuition. Reckless and impatient, he had even allowed some mammoths to escape. But despite his flaws, reaching Foundation establishment at such a young age spoke volumes about his potential. He surely had hidden aces up his sleeve. No matter how weak he may seem, I can't afford to underestimate him. Meanwhile, Hua Yuntian's bloodshot eyes scanned the surroundings. His breath was heavy, his mind no longer on the mammoths. What is your goal, sir? Why skulk in the shadows like a coward? Show yourself and state your purpose. The remaining cultivators exchanged wary glances, tightening their formation in anticipation of another ambush. Sneaky devised a scheme. A small lizard, hidden in the rubble, released a flicker of light. Boom! A rock exploded into fragments. Hua Yuntian reacted immediately, slashing his sword at the disturbance and scattering visionary dust across the air. His blade's energy tore through the battlefield, yet the dust revealed nothing. Shameless trickster. Do you have no honor? Hua Yuntian snarled, seething with rage. The others wisely remained silent. Then another flash. Hua Yuntian lunged toward it, his patience shattered. Hua Yuntian crushed the lizard responsible for the distraction, his hands trembling with frustration. Mechanical puppet art? Earth Spike? Who are you? His voice wavered between rage and unease. His limited experience had left him unprepared for an enemy who played by no rules, an opponent who toyed with him while methodically eliminating his people. He could almost see the hidden adversary smirking in the shadows. His divine sense swept the battlefield again, this time with desperate intensity. Rumble. A distant explosion shattered the silence. The very air trembled with each successive boom. It wasn't an earthquake. It was something far worse. A tide of overwhelming demonic energy surged through the landscape, darkening the sky and sending shockwaves through the land. The wounded mammoths trumpeted in excitement. Reinforcements had arrived. Foundation establishment demon? Hua Yuntian's face paled. Suhei's heart pounded. He had never encountered a Foundation establishment demon before, but from the sheer oppressive aura, he knew this was no mere beast. In the distance, the ground rumbled as a massive mammoth charged forward, its every step cracking the earth beneath it. Run! Without hesitation, Hua Yuntian grabbed two nearby cultivators and hurled them toward the incoming demon, using them as bait while he fled at full speed. The other cultivators scattered, abandoning any semblance of teamwork. The unfortunate souls thrown forward were vaporized in an instant, their blood scattering in the wind, while the enormous mammoth locked onto Hua Yuntian, relentless in its pursuit. That's late foundation establishment, if not peak, Xiaohei observed through the eyes of a lizard, shocked that such a seemingly ordinary mammoth herd had such a powerful guardian. What other terrifying creatures lurked in this untamed wilderness? With a smirk, Suhei muttered, "Here's a little something for you." A jagged earth spike erupted in front of Hua Yuntian. Sensing the danger, the cultivator narrowly sidestepped, his face twisting in irritation. But before he could recover, another spike shot out from the previous one, slamming into his stomach. It didn't injure him, but it slowed him down just enough. Earth spike. Suhei applied what he had learned from Yi Haichuan, aiming precisely to cut off Hua Yuntian's escape. Pa! Each time Hua Yuntian changed direction, sharp stone spikes slashed through the air, disrupting his vision. The colossal mammoth loomed closer. "Damn you, coward!" Hua Yuntian roared in fury. He knew these attacks weren't meant to kill him, only to stall. He could even pinpoint Suhei's location, but with a behemoth bearing down on him, casting a counterattack wasn't an option. For the first time in his life, he felt truly wretched, fueling his ever-growing hatred. "Curse you! I'll skin you alive for this." As the mammoth closed in, Hua Yuntian was forced to shatter a golden jade pendant. A shimmering barrier enveloped him, shielding him from the earth spikes as he made his escape beyond Suhei's range. Still, the wild mammoth did not relent. "I stalled him as long as I could. The rest is up to you," Suhei mused, then turned his attention to the remaining cultivators. Their original group had been 10 strong. 3 were already gone. 2 had been sacrificed by Hua Yuntian, and 2 more had fallen to Suhei's diversions. That left just 3. Suhei wasn't just targeting Hua Yuntian, he intended to eliminate them all. His large lizards hunted down 2 stragglers while he pursued the last one himself. He always took pleasure in adding insult to injury, especially when dealing with humans. Hua Yuntian's fate was in the hands of the mammoth now. Suhei had done his part. Mammoths were beyond his reach, but the fallen cultivator's storage bags would more than make up for the effort. Xiaohei returned to the battlefield, commanding his lizards to collect the spoils. The male mammoths were nearly wiped out. Only 2 remained, barely clinging to life. After a moment of thought, Suhei has offered them healing pills. The sharp-witted creatures quickly understood and swallowed the pills, letting out soft trumpets of gratitude. Suhei sighed. "I can't show myself, so let them thank the puppets instead. Don't go extinct on me," he thought. "I still need to eat." Suddenly, the ground quaked as the wild mammoth returned. Suhei fled without hesitation. A powerful voice rumbled through the land, resonating in his very bones. "Friend in hiding, my herd will not forget your kindness." The wild mammoth had spoken. Suhei chuckled at the irony. His hunt had turned into an act of charity. Still, earning the gratitude of a mighty demon was no small gain. And if those storage bags contained demon meat, it would be even better. A thought struck him. The mammoth returned too quickly. What about Hua Yuntian? He couldn't have gotten far. Maybe there was still an opportunity to profit. But Suhei quickly shook his head. Hua Yuntian was no nobody. He could easily be the disciple of a golden core cultivator. Running into him while looting corpses could be disastrous. Know when to quit. Be happy with what you have. Suhei took his time heading home, stopping at a cave to inspect his haul. 3 days later, Hua Yuntian's body trembled. Cough, cough. A violent fit shook Hua Yuntian's frame as he gasped for breath. His body had taken 3 whole days to reconstruct, 3 days of torment. "This old beast," he muttered through gritted teeth. Fortunately, he had sacrificed the reincarnation pendant beforehand, allowing him to survive. Otherwise, he would have been reduced to nothing but dust. A smoky figure materialized before him, its presence both ancient and formidable. "My disciple, you're finally awake." The voice was deep, carrying an unfathomable weight. Hua Yuntian forced himself to sit up despite the pain. "Master, did that despicable person show himself?" His master sighed. "In the 3 days you spent pretending to be dead, no one appeared. I must give that person 9 points for their cunning." He paused, before shaking his head. "As for you, disciple, I can only give you 0 points for your psychological resilience." Hua Yuntian clenched his fists but said nothing. "Forget it," his master continued. "You are too gravely injured this time. I will send you to Xianxia sect to recover." A flicker of reluctance crossed Hua Yuntian's eyes, but he eventually bowed his head. "Yes, master."